Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Old Reports. Now, before we get started, I would like to say a few words. Firstly, I want to apologize for being absent for a couple weeks after my Beetlejuice blog on September 10th. That month has been insanely busy for me. Mostly with Musical Theater Village, Target, family stuff, and therapists. Plus, I've been busy with a certain countdown video that I hope to upload this month. And I really do pray that YouTube doesn't put any copyright claims on it. And the fact that I just turned 34 years old on September 20th, and 9 days afterwards, my left arm got stung by a bee for no reason. Secondly, I'm sure most of you guys know that on August 6th, around 5 a.m. while I was still sleeping, my Facebook account got hacked by some weirdos from Nigeria. And I've been locked out for weeks while those jerks were scamming several of my friends, family, and followers. And I've been struggling trying to get it back. But Meta hasn't been very helpful with me, and I was this close to giving up. But fortunately, during late September to early October, one of my friends managed to help me. I won't say who though, due to personal and cautionary reasons. And finally, on October 2nd, 2024, I finally got my Facebook account back. And my mom helped me set up a security app to make sure that no crazy weirdos try to hack me again. And I really hope that those hackers end up behind bars after what they did to me. Anyway, to business. Now, I understand that it's October and you guys are expecting me to do a Halloween blog, but before I actually can begin Nightmare Month this year, because I've been falling behind during the past couple months, I would like to catch up with my Sofia the First memory lane by blogging 3 episodes that I actually wanted to share with you during the summer and during September. And the episode that we're going to look at today is the one that influences Amber and James's future. Airing on television on May 14th, 2018, this is a royal wedding. Now, let's get started. It is the day of Aunt Tilly and Sir Bartleby's wedding. But before it begins, Sofia, Amber, and James' grandmom arrives and informs the royal family that Amber is the heir to Enchancia's throne, due to her being the firstborn in the royal family. This makes James very upset, and he's determined to prove that Amber won't be a good queen. But his actions may not make him as happy as he thinks. So, what do I personally think of this episode? Well, in my personal opinion, I find this to be one of the most important episodes in season 4. And it's got to be one of the strongest that has aired during May 2018, even though it's not one of my personal favorites. Anyway, let's head over to Mustang Notes. Now, the moral of this episode is, your path may not go as expected, but you may find it's what you want in the end. Which to me is a very understandable lesson. Surely you guys have had an experience like that. I know I did. Plus, this episode premiered to 0.698 million viewers, and it was the most viewed episodes of the 5 that premiered from May 14th to 18th, 2018. Also to note, and funny enough, the episode's title is the same name as the 10th Swan Princess movie, which I blogged back in 2020. As for the animation, well, in my opinion, the CGI animation by Toei is excellent as usual, And I really love how Aunt Tilly and Sir Bartleby's wedding is set up in the back fields behind the Enchancia castle. And I also like that Bailiwick presides over the ceremony. Plus, I also like that this episode is connected to previous events from past episodes, like the Silent Night, King for a Day, and Through the Looking Back Glass. And I like that some of the wedding guests are characters whom we viewers have seen before, like Wilbur the Wombeast, Hildegard and her father, King Henrik, the Mermaid Queen of Merowe Cove, Queen Emmeline, Princess June, Lord Gilbert and his daughter, Lady Joy, Kari's parents, King Oberlin and Queen Tessa, and of course, Winter the Fawn. As for the story, well, I know it mainly centers on a wedding between a knight and an adventurer, but at the same time, it also foreshadows Amber and James' future path. Also, like the Royal School Fair, I find it interesting that this episode has an unexpected conflict in the form of a giant winged Kondraki, and that the royal siblings work together to get it away from the wedding. Oh, fun fact, the Kondraki is named after the show's audio engineer, Mark Kondraki, who also helped with several other animated shows and movies. Also, I know this may be a bit off topic, but I find it funny that this episode aired about 3 months before I got to attend my cousin Nick and his husband Josh's wedding. Now let's talk about the episode's song, Meant to Be, sung by Amber and James. During the song, Amber expresses her happiness to be the heir to the throne, while James voices his disappointment about Amber being the chosen one, even though he thought he was supposed to be the next ruler. In my opinion, this song is a pretty relatable one, and I think it's very sweet that we finally get a duet song between the royal twins. However, between the two, I think Amber's singing is really beautiful, while James is a bit aggressive. And now let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Princess Sofia is voiced by Ariel Winter, whom was a young Kairi in the Kingdom Hearts game series, Marina from Jake and the Neverland Pirates, a few of Thumper's sisters in Bambi 2, Macy in Winx Club, young Trixie in Speed Racer, Marlene in the complete version of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, Penny Peterson in DreamWorks' Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Smurf Lily in Smurfs the Lost Village. As usual, Sofia is a sweet, kind, compassionate, and helpful princess, and she makes a great supporting character in this episode. Plus, I like that because she brought her Aunt Tilly and Sir Bartleby together 2 seasons prior, Sofia is tasked to be the maid of honor and to keep her aunt's whenever wings wand until she's given the signal at the end of the ceremony. Next is her sister, Princess Amber, voiced by Darcy Rose Byrnes, who voiced Ikki in The Legend of Korra, Maricela in Spirit Riding Free, along with Desperate Housewives and Big Shot. Now, in my eyes, Amber gets a lot of character development in this episode. Not only is she no longer the spoiled, pampered princess she used to be, but she's revealed to be the heir to the throne, mainly due to her being the oldest by 7 minutes. Also, during the wedding, Amber is tasked with greeting the guests, presenting the cake, and holding on to Sir Bartleby's wedding ring until the wedding. By the way, I find it pretty impressive that Amber has aced majestic formalities at Royal Prep, which explains why she greets every guest properly, and she makes a great queen in training, like when she commands the guards to protect the wedding cake. Next up is Sofia's brother, Prince James, voiced by Nicholas Cantu, whom was the host of Junkie Janker on YouTube, and he voiced Curly in Hey Arnold the Jungle Movie, and Leonardo in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. During this episode, James is upset after learning that Amber is meant to be the successor to the throne, and he does whatever he can to show that he would make a better king by sabotaging her. In my opinion, while James can be a bit selfish and reckless due to his attempts to undermine his sister, like when she was greeting the guests and where he released Aunt Tilly's flying fish, but at the same time, he's also sympathetic, and it's also understandable that he's unaware of Amber's character development in the Mystic Isles and Pirated Away, due to him not being there. But thankfully, James makes up for his big mistake by using Aunt Tilly's wand to retrieve the wedding ring after Amber lost it, and when he lures the Kondraki away from the wedding using a piece of cake. Lastly to note, I like that James realizes that he'd rather become a knight in order to protect the people of Enchancia someday. Next we come to the episode's bride-to-be, Duchess Matilda, aka Aunt Tilly, voiced by Bonnie Hunt, who voiced in several Pixar films along with Cheaper by the Dozen, Disney's Zootopia, and Jumanji. Now, as I said before, Tilly is one of my favorite characters in Sofia's series, mainly due to her being an adventurer, which is why she declined the crown a long time ago, and that she has the magic ability of Mary Poppins and the personality of Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. Anyway, for those who don't remember, Tilly first met Sir Bartleby in the episode The Silent Night, where all the knights were gathered together for the Shield of Valor ceremony, which was awarded to Aunt Tilly for taming the dragon of Dashhood and teaching him how to knit. And, thanks to some help from Sofia, Bartleby, despite being ashamed of his high squeaky voice, admits his feelings for Tilly, and Tilly tells him that she loves his voice due to her love for one-of-a-kind things. Also to note, I like that during this episode, Tilly has a Whenever Wings wand, which can magically create or remove long feathered wings on a person's back. Man, I really need to get me one of those, if they exist, that is. The last character to talk about is the Grand Queen of Enchancia, Grandmom, voiced by Florence Henderson, best known from the Brady Bunch show. Now, the last time I talked about her was during my blog of Best in Air show, where she enters the Starwing Amateur Stunt Flyer contest in disguise due to her wanting to be a stunt flyer ever since she was a little girl. Anyway, during this episode, Grandmom informs the royal family that Amber is the future queen of Enchancia, not James, because the throne goes to the firstborn. She shows the family the law and explains that Tilly had willingly abdicated her role as heir to her brother King Roland because they both knew that he would be a great king because it was his dream. It should also be noted that this episode was Florence Henderson's final episode as Grandmom before she passed away from heart failure on November 24, 2016. And now, on to my final words. Overall, A Royal Wedding is a pretty good episode in Sofia's 4th season, and I found it to be one of the most important episodes in the entire series. The CGI animation is excellent as usual. The song, Meant to Be, has got to be one of my personal favorites, mostly for Amber's side, not James's. Princess Sofia is a great supporting character, like in several previous episodes. Amber gets some great character development, and I know she'll be a wonderful queen of Enchancia someday. James was pretty selfish and reckless, but he's still sympathetic, and I like that he wants to protect the kingdom, hence why he works towards becoming a knight. Aunt Tilly and Sir Bartleby may not have a huge role in this, but I still think they're a great couple, and I really hope they have a wonderful future as husband and wife. Lastly, I like how this episode demonstrates a nice moral on how to show humility when things don't go your way. Alternatively, it also says that just because things don't turn out the way you plan, you can still do what you want to do, but in a different way. As for my rating, well, I'll give it an 88% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time where we look at an episode where Jade attends Royal Prep. Mustang Power.